it all comes down to this. We were all disgusted, not least of which me, when I ended up in a League Two job after being turned down by numerous League Two teams as well. But we ended up at Blackpool, a mid-table team, came in at the January transfer window. We have eventually found something close to decent form, and here we are, the final day of our first season at the club. I mean, it's the final day of our first 5 months at the club, realistically. We're at Wembley. It's a playoff final. We are one game away from making one step back to where we belong we belong higher than League One, but, baby steps and all that. It's the playoff final. We're against Bristol Rovers. Please. Hello and welcome to Season 9, Part 6 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, it is the League 2 playoff final against Bristol Rovers at Wembley. Oh, have we even played them since we have played them? We last played them in April at home and it was a 0-0 draw. We played them earlier in the season before I was manager, away from home. It was a 1-1 draw. So over the course of the season so far, we've got them on away goals. But that was before I arrived. Tactics-wise, we're not trying anything different. We're not trying to be clever for this final. We're going to use the exact team and system that has negotiated the final couple of games of the season when we started to capture some form. Got us through the semi-final against Barnet, as you saw yesterday. And that team is this one. We have Davis in goal, a back four of McJannick, McDonald, Baird and Sana. Ali, the superstar hero captain Mukhtar Ali, is in the form of his life in these playoffs. If you didn't see how good he was yesterday, you weren't paying attention. If he has another game like those last two, we are sorted. We don't need any other players. And then in midfield, we have Lorenzo and Riley. They've both scored absolute screamers in the two semi-finals against Barnet. Riley in the first one, Lorenzo in the second one. If either one of them pops up with a goal like that again today, we are laughing. And then Brock Madsen is up front, supported by Fleming on the left wing and Claudio Dorsey on the right. And as we all know, he's rubbish. What's he doing in the team? If you haven't been watching recently, when we pick on him before the match, he has a good game. Dorsey, what a waste of space. Should probably be playing Shorthouse, etc., etc. The media have got us as favourites for this game, which seems a little bit risky. Brock Madsen's closing in on top scorer in the league as well, which is mad as well, because his 17 goals just doesn't seem like a huge amount. Their goalkeeper's on a lengthy run without conceding a goal. We don't score many goals. Let's just go and win a football match. That's all we really care about. We had a spectacularly awful team meeting 2 days ago. The board or whoever it was, the coaching staff recommended we do it. I walked in all passionate saying, wouldn't it be great to get promoted? Yay! And they all said, oh, what? We could get promoted? Oh, pressure. No. Oh, why have you mentioned promotion? Not the P word. So I've basically ruined morale. So if we don't win today, it's because of that. Because this is why I don't do my own team talks, because I can't do the motivation stuff. Bearing in mind, the board told me from the start that the minimum expectation was playoffs. And when we got into the playoffs, they said minimum expectation, playoff final. I assumed all of the staff involved in the club were aware that the minimum expectation this season was get into the playoffs. Apparently the playing staff weren't aware, and they've all got a bit of a grump on, which is why we're going into half-time, still at 0-0, having had very little possession, having created very little in the way of chances. We do need something a little bit special from somebody just doing something special. It's what we had in the two semi-final matches. We had those moments of brilliance from Riley and Lorenzo. Hopefully someone has something saved up for today, because looking at the stats, we're not creating anything. Fleming's in. It's taken so long about it, but he has stuck it in the back of the net. I was convinced he was bottling that. I have never seen a player take so long to take a shot. Look at this in 3D. Riley and Lorenzo feed through to Fleming, and look at how long he takes to decide what to do. But it was all worth it. He took long enough to place it in exactly the right spot. We're 1-0 up. We have had that little moment of brilliance, and it involved those two superstars we've got in central midfield. Our midfield three in general has been brilliant since we've started playing this system. Brock Madsen, on the other hand, having another poor game. So Shorthouse is coming on to play up front, and we're going to bring Dalton on the right wing. We've made this exact substitution in the second of the two semi-finals, I think. They combined for a goal then, a Dalton cross to Shorthouse to score. If they can do that again today, we'll be happy. McJanet, Dalton, I don't know who that's gone down as. I think it's not counting at all. So McJanet got it into the back of the net from the cross, but I guess Dalton was pushing the goalkeeper, and that's how it went in. Everyone sit back down, calm down. We'll make our other usual substitution. Sana comes off for Williams. We've just got 10 minutes to hold on. There's 51,000 people here at Wembley. I've only just noticed that. That's terrifying. That might be the biggest crowd we've played in front of in the whole of non-league to legends so far. Possibly that weird cup we won in Scotland. There was more people there. That fact that managed to stay out. Surely our name is on the promotion trophy thing. I don't even know what you get for winning the League Two playoffs. Baird to Riley to Dalton. Tries to beat his man. He does. He hits the post. For a player who barely ever gets a look in these playoffs, he's come alive and he's desperate to get promoted. Baird, look how far he's charging forward. Riley. McJanet, everyone wants this desperately. Shorthouse finds Ali, out to Riley, to Dalton. We're playing really good football now. Fleming out wide to McJanet. He's having another go from long range. Really should probably have tried a cross. But, I mean, he's in again. Everyone is just throwing themselves at this. We are desperately holding on, but I'm not at all confident with Davis in goal, but he's kept hold of that nicely, lumped it forward. We've had none of this messing that he's occasionally known for. Ali, very risky crossfield pass, but finds his man, and then the midfield three just keeping hold of it nicely again. And Shorthouse is in. Best chance of the game, and he can't. And he does force a save out their goalkeeper, but that's all it is. And now, with a minute left on the clock, that Bristol Rovers have got one last chance for an attack, and luckily they absolutely blew it by flinging the ball way high and wide. And surely we just don't mess up from here. There's 25 seconds left on the clock. I don't even care if you get yourself sent off at this point. Just get in there and get the ball off him. There's 10 seconds left. There you go, Ali. He's listening. Just foul him. Foul him as much as you have to. They're in. I thought we'd given away a penalty. It was an offside. And that's it. We've won the playoffs. We're back in League One, everybody. That is not how I expected this season to turn out a week ago when I did that whole episode where I spent ages trying to find a club. But, if you are one of the League One chairmen watching this, or one of the League Two chairmen who turned me down, here's a lesson for you. Kev gets promotion from League One and League Two. That's how we do these things. Right, let's have a look at the budgets for next year. There basically isn't one. They've doubled our wage budget. We have no transfer budget at all. They're all excited that we've got promoted. At least we've got a chunk of cash coming in. I think we are just in the black, which is the first time it's been anywhere near that during my time at Blackpool. That is ridiculous. I was not expecting a promotion this year. If we have a look at how this league table has worked for us this year, league table, there we go. I mean, we came in, where were we? Here somewhere? Down in 12th place. It has been hard work. I think that's where we changed the tactic. And from there, we've just managed to find a good run of form. What is happening? Why is it only taking us to Christmas? Well, I was going to show you that we've been in a good run of form, but apparently the season ended at Christmas before I even arrived. So I can't show you. Oh, good. The game started glitching out. That's always a good sign that it's going to be a nice long-term save. There you go. We can have a look at it now. I mean, look, we haven't lost a game since the end of March. There were a few draws in there, but once we got bedded in with this new tactic, which I think the first time we tried it was that 4-0 win against Fleetwood, which you lot were all there for. We lost a couple of games early on as we were getting used to it, but from then on, we've learnt to play 4-3-3 very quickly, and we've not lost for, 10, 12 games? We deserve to get promoted in the end. If we have a little look through our squad, there's going to be a massive overhaul of this squad over the summer, mainly because if we sort them all by who's expiring, we've got that whole, in fact, not even scrolling, let's get this to just the first team squad. Everyone down to there. So 2/3 of the squad are out of contract in a couple of weeks' time. I've got to make some decisions about who we're keeping, who we're not keeping. But let's have a look through and try and make a few of those decisions now. So if we sort by goals, first of all, Brock Madsen, 19 goals. It was like 5th highest scorer in League Two in the end. But I think he's probably going to be moving on. He's 32 years old now. He's on an awful lot of money. £2,500 a week is just a lot of money. And I don't know that he's going to be good enough to make the step up to League One. He's tried it before when he was in his prime and didn't really get anywhere. I mean, he had a decent couple of seasons in the Championship for Birmingham, but that was a long time ago now, and I think we're probably going to let him go on his way. Shorthouse, we've already offered a contract to. Definitely going to be keeping him around. He's primarily an attacking central midfielder, but got the potential to get better and also play as a striker, as a right winger. Got to keep him around. 9 goals from 26 starts, and he's never really been a consistent starter, certainly since we changed the system around. Other than that, we've identified it early on. It's been a story all the way through. Goals are quite hard to come by. That's definitely something we need to fix for next year. If we look at assists, Lorenzo has been an absolute revelation. He's 27 years old now. 3-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. So he's not ever going to get any better. But goodness me, has he been good in the second half of this season. That average rating does not do him justice at all. Because if we give him his Kev average rating, it's going to be well over a 7. He has been brilliant for us ever since we arrived. And likewise, most of these average ratings, they're not really representative of how good this team has been since we switched that tactic, since we've been here. Because there's the only player in the whole squad who's averaged over a 7 is Angus MacDonald. He's getting on a bit as well, 32 years old. He's been here a couple of years. Is he ready to make the step up? He's played at League One before, but whether we keep him or not, maybe as a squad player. Lots of decisions to be making. The big thing is we're not going to have any transfer budget to spend. We've got a little bit of wage budget to play with, but 44 grand in League One disappears really quickly. So I think we're going to have a little nose into the loan market as well and see what we can come up with. But more important than any of that at this point, in fact, before I do my little outro, let's just see how Southend did the season in the end. They did finish 13th with my assistant manager in charge. Well, how different could things have been if when I applied for the job, I mean, it is frustrating because click there. I applied for the job like here, or declared interest, and they didn't want me. So I joined Blackpool like here. They sacked the manager here. How different things could have been. They'd be back in the Championship now. Never mind, eh? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. We've got a promotion. Promotions mean we've got to get to 500 likes. So make sure you pop a like on there. Let's try and get all the way up to 500 likes on this one. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.